Now, I was away this past weekend, but I was able to catch the Ravens game against the Cleveland Browns, and here's my thoughts and opinions on it. For the second week in a row, they scored 40 points here, winning 41-17 in the home opener against the Cleveland Browns. Let's start off with the positives here. Lamar Jackson, another excellent game here, 19 of 29, 225 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Really spreading it around nicely here. Zay Flowers, the leading receiver with 11 targets at 7 catches and 75 yards. They really want to get Zay Flowers the ball, and they're showing it here the past 2 weeks. And no, he didn't score a touchdown. He was spreading around with these other players, including Devontae Walker and Tylan Wallace, who got 3 of the 4 touchdowns Lamar threw. Shout out to those guys who primarily play special teams. It was nice to see them getting some offensive snaps in the rotation. And also shout out to Devontae Walker for 3 catches in his career, and all 3 of them being touchdowns. GOAT status. And how about Hopkins being the other guy here? 2 catches for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. Again, with Hopkins, like I said when they signed him, we didn't need him to be that guy in the Texans to get 100 plus yards every single week, get 1 or 2 catches a game. That are some really clutch ones. Another case here, 2 touchdowns, 2 weeks. You like to see that. Shout out to you, Hopkins. You still got it. Now, the offensive line, still some questions there. Lamar did get sacked 3 times. Again, you have some questions here, particularly on the right side of the line, but still, you can be okay with it. And there were some really good spots here on the defense here. Nate Wiggins here with the pick here. He is looking really good in the past 2 weeks. I really like to see the improvement from him. And Roquan Smith, man, 15 tackles and 1 scoop and score with a 61-yard return for a fumble recovery touchdown. I don't get a lot of people last week saying he didn't really look that good, but I personally thought he did really well against the Buffalo Bills. But again, overall defense was making some solid spots here. Outside of the sack department here, which is really weird, only 2 sacks for this. Again, really weird to see that, but you would think the sacks would improve as time goes on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, after the first half, they were leading 10-3. I was still worried because, we are a lot better than the Cleveland Browns here, but they were very close to kind of thinking that we might actually end up losing this game. But by the fourth quarter, when they were scoring 21 points off the bat, it was actually nice and comfortable, at least by the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter. Very confusing rushing day, too. Derrick Henry, only 23 yards rushing, was the leading rusher for the team. Was playing a little bit more conservative, laid back in the first half here with the offense overall, but things definitely exploded again, like I said, towards the tail end of the second half. But overall, a good, solid win all around here. Again, outside of some questions here with the offense, with the rushing attack, but again, week 1 against the Bills, it did look a lot better, so I'm expecting improvements in week 3. Hopefully, we see Isaiah Likely back in week 3. Mark Andrews, I'm still rooting for him, no doubt here, but he only had 1 catch for 2 yards. You thought he would have had one in the end zone here. I don't think that was going to be a touchdown at the end of the day, but still, you have a little bit of concerns there, but I still am rooting for him, and I hope he's going to do well once Isaiah Likely is back to the 2 tight end set we want to see. But still, man, shout out to Joe Flacco. It was nice to see him return. It's actually weird to think that was his first time in Baltimore since he was released. I still always root for you, Joe Flacco, no matter what. You were my quarterback in the day. But again, for the Ravens, this was a nice, good W here with 1-1 now, with a big test against the Detroit Lions for week 3 on Monday Night Football. We'll see how that goes.